Assalamualaikum to Madam and my dear friend. Today, I am going to present you an oral presentation about ICT-based learning material that I am going to use in my preschool classroom. As we already know, ICT play a vital role in education. It helps young children and learners and teachers to make the learning process more smoother and more fun. It also helps teachers to engage young learners to learn in a fun and easy way. So there are several ICT-based learning materials such as big book, computer, laptop, application, apps such as Canva, Flipbook, Woodwall, and many more. So I am going to choose a big book as an ICT-based learning materials in my preschool classroom. As we all already know, big books are enlarged version of text that allow an educator to implement shared reading and encourage young children to read. Big books also are books in electronic format. Big books also have words and picture just like traditional printed book. But big book in electronic way have an interactive elements such as recorded narration, music, sound effect, animation, games, in-book dictionary, and so on. So I choose big book because it have more features like narration, music, sound effect, and it also have animation which can interact young learners to focus. So I am going to produce a big book in a few steps. There are a few steps to make my big book. In my big book, I am going to use the big book in step 1, which is I am going to introduce name of fruits and healthy food. So the first step is I have to choose the application that I am going to make the big book more fun and interactive. So I am going to use a Canva. Canva have several font which is suitable for young learners, and it also have several animation which is very good and very clear, and it is easy to access. And Canva also have free features to make our big book more fun, and Canva also have a format which is we can convert the story directly without have to edit for too long. And I am going to use AnyFlip to make the big book just like the traditional books. So after choosing the right application to make the big book, I have to create a storyline and select a character. In my big book, I am going to create a storyline about healthy food and healthy weight, and I am going to insert name of fruits just like this is step 1, that which is I want to teach young children to pronounce the name of fruits. So I am going to insert animation and character, and I am going to insert the fruits. So I am going to choose a few characters, which is James, mother, fairy, and a doctor, and James' friends. So after that, I am going to choose a suitable animation and insert learning content. When I'm creating a storyline, I have to choose a suitable animation, and the animation must suit to the storyline, and I have to insert the learning content. In the story, I have to insert the image of fruits, and I also have to insert the suitable character of each character. After a few editing and a few editing to make the story much better and fun and interactive, I am going to finalize the book and make sure all the steps, all the storyline of the book is good and suitable for young learners. I am going to publish the big book using AnyFlip. I choose the AnyFlip because it have a feature just like a traditional book, which we can flip the book. It have an animation just like when we flip the books, and it will flip like the real books. To finishing the product and embed in AnyFlip, I am going to teach the young learner using the big book by read aloud and introduce the fruit. I am going to show them the big book using technology materials such as iPad, computers, projector, phone, or I also can use a big screen and smartboard. So I am going to use the big book to read aloud and introduce fruits. Then I am going to engage the young children by showing the books and illustration. When I am showing to the young children the illustration, I have to ask the young children the question: who is this? What is this? What fruit is this? This can engage young children to speak and can build their confidence in communication. The next point is teacher also encourage children to predict the story. When I am going to flip to the next page, I am going to ask the young children to predict what happened next. What happened to the James? And what is the next fruit? And I am going to ask them, and they have to predict what is the next fruits and what are going to happen to James. By asking them questions can develop their communication skill and build their confidence to communicate and share their own information. Next, there are several benefits using a big book in preschool classroom. By exposing a big book, by showing the animation, the word, the simple sentences, can introduce new vocabulary. So in my big books, I am going to use a simple sentences and I am going to show them a new vocabulary. Next, big books is a fun way to motivate children. In this book, I have included a moral of the story from this big book, which can motivate young children to eat healthy food and eat fruits. So by using big books can help young children to motivate children to read and also can teach them moral values. Thus, using big book also can help to improve children's attention span, which is when we are using a fun and interacting animation. I am going to use a vibrant and unique character such as Fat James, a doctor, mother, and a very familiar environment such as park, home, hospital, which can attract them to the big book. Thus, using big book can improve their attention span by presenting the big book in a large projector. And also, we can also provide them with a smartphone or an iPad for them to access the book by themselves. Thus, big book also has a funny, engaging rhymes that help children learn language. For example, I am going to add a rhyme such as eat, 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 apple, eat. And ouch, 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 my head is hurt. By using rhyme can help children feel fun in learning English, and we also can ask them to follow along the rhyme, which can help they feel fun to learn English. Thus, using big book also very easy to access by using iPad, computer, telephone, smartphone, or laptop. So it is easy to access everywhere, anytime and anywhere. For example, we can read the book during circle time, during lunch time, or during nap time, and also before they are going back to school. So it is very easy to access by share the link of the books to parents and young learners so they can access it at home. But there are several disadvantages of the big books, which is in my big book it does not have audio or recorded narration and sound effect, because the application that I have used, which is AnyFlip and Canva, it doesn't have a feature to insert audio, recorded narration and sound effect. In my big books also it have too many sentences in one page. In creating a big book, we have to insert a very simple sentences, and we should not add too many sentences in one page. If we insert too many sentences in one page, it can distract young learners and it may discourage young learners to read. So in one page, we should insert 1 or 2 sentences in one page. The next point is the big book need internet connection to access the big book. Unfortunately, the traditional books, we can bring it everywhere, anytime and anywhere. But big book in electronic way, we have to have internet connection. Besides, we have to have electronic materials such as iPad, smartphone, laptop. To access the big book, we must have a strong internet connection. If we don't have a strong internet connection, the big book may be slow and we cannot access the animation and we cannot read the big books. So it may interrupt the whole learning process and it may disturb young learners. In conclusion, ICT-based learning materials such as Big Book can help young learners to create a fun environment to teach young learners. Based on my ICT learning material, which is Big Book, I think that using Big Book in teaching young learners can help them to improve their language skills such as vocabulary and communication skills. But as a teacher, we must encourage them to, as a teacher, we must create a fun and interactive environment to make learning process more fun and interactive. So using Big Book can help to create that environment and make the whole learning process more fun and interactive. So using a Big Book is a fun and interactive way to young children. I think that using Big Book to teach young learners to pronounce fruits such as apple, grapes, mango, and orange can help them to remember the name of fruits better and can encourage young learners to eat healthy food. That's all from me. Thank you.